Hello, parents and guardians of my Norristown WOW students. My name is Jessie McFarland, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about a topic that I just went over with your kiddos last week. So we're going to be diving into the topic of mindful movement. And I'm not sure about you, but with 8 weeks down of this stay-at-home orders, I'm sure that it might be tricky to kind of incorporate some movement and mindfulness into our routines and schedules, mostly because our schedules kind of are out the window because it's not normal and typical, right? So with your kiddos, I focused the statement for the week on the idea of controlling our controllables and really kind of focusing on that internal environment and how we're feeling and how we're using techniques and tools to calm our minds and calm our bodies, especially in times where there might be some stress and our resilience might be being tested a little bit. The other piece was when you can control your controllables, then to recognize to let go of everything else. So control what you can and let go of everything else. So in my video to them, I try to introduce a couple practices and talk to them about the benefits of movement. So just so that maybe you can have a conversation with them or you can connect with them about this, maybe see how they're doing with it, I thought that I would follow up with a video and some descriptions for you. So I've always been a huge proponent of movement, and movement has looked completely different throughout my life depending on which kind of stage I am in. Sometimes my body is craving just kind of gentle and calm, and what I introduced to your kids was, or to your students, were an idea of yoga. So very like calming, quiet, stretching and yoga. And I did this through an app called Down Dog. So I will put in the description what that app is. I had asked the students to download this and then to interact with it throughout the week. So the cool thing about Down Dog is it's pretty much like a choose your own adventure platform. So you can pick to do a 5-minute yoga sequence. You could pick to do like a 5-hour yoga sequence. You can do beginner all the way to advanced. There's music that goes along and it's video, so you can actually see the people doing the poses. It's very user-friendly, and in fact, they actually have a beginner yoga app that is specific to beginners. So if you've never even tried stretching, I might encourage you to try this as well. So I just finished about a month ago a book that came out called The Joy of Movement by an author named Kelly McGonigal. She is a researcher that really focuses on stress and resilience. And so she was looking at, in this book, this idea that when we think about movement, a lot of times we just tap into like the physical benefits. Like, how does it make us look? Does it help us lose weight? Does it give us muscle? And that's really, really important. But this was a deep dig and a hyper focus on what it does for our mental health. There's actually these things that she identifies called hope molecules. And when we exercise, and people who are regularly active, your body, your muscles will secrete a hormone that then goes into your bloodstream, and it creates resilience and happiness. So it's kind of that endorphin rush that we get after you exercise or you do something that's physical. It is totally represented in our mental health as well. And I don't know about you, but I could use some gratitude and resiliency and hope right now. So just a little tool that you might put in your toolbox to incorporate. And movement does not have to look like, a 60-minute, sweating, pouring sweat kind of workout. It can just be some gentle stretching and some breath work. It could be a walk. There are so many research studies that look at the power of vitamin D and the power of getting out into nature. In fact, there are these things called fractals that are geometric patterns that are only present in nature. And when our eyes see them, it reduces our cortisol, which is our stress hormone, significantly. So doing a daily walk with your kids, if you can, even if it's just around the block or the neighborhood or, wherever you have space to kind of get out. There's so many public parks that are open that you can, if you're comfortable wearing a mask, you could even wear a mask. But hiking trails and places that just kind of connect us back to nature. It's such a nice movement, a piece of movement, but it also ties into that connected piece, which is really, really helpful for reducing stress. One thing that we've been doing a lot of is I'll put Kids Bop on. I know that your kiddos are a little bit older, but mine are young. But you could put on any type of music and just have a dance party, even if it's just for like one song. Just get up and move, and it is crazy how much you actually start to sweat and your blood and your heart rate starts to increase. So just getting that blood flowing, and it creates happiness and joy. So I've tasked your kiddos with doing this for the week, and I'm hopeful that maybe you'll join them, or even if you just kind of check in with them and say, hey, how's it going? Have you had a chance to try any of these yoga videos, can I look at it, because it might be helpful if you do them together or if you just kind of check in with them to see where they are. So I wanted to just send you some well wishes and give you some tips, and to recognize that right now there is definitely some motivation that's dwindling. I don't know if you were like me and this started and you kind of didn't, it was like a dot, dot, dot. So there wasn't an ending necessarily in place to this. And I think that we're settling in, and some of that motivation in the beginning to do all of those things, we were changing our houses and working out and, we were trying to do everything at once because we found ourselves with this time, right? So I'm sure that there has been increasing stress and uncertainty for you. And I just hope that by incorporating just a little bit of movement, stretching, and breath work, you might be able to find some happiness and joy and calm. Control what you can, right? So control the controllables and let go of everything else. That's the same kind of topic that your kids are focusing on, so your students are focusing on. So that might give you some little motivation to do the same. I'm going to end this by just giving you a moment to do a little bit of breathing. So if you want to pause this and get to a place where you can kind of be alone and, there's not chaos and craziness, or, you want to wait until later, that's fine. But I'm going to take you through a meditation and just like a breath work activity that is really, really helpful. If you haven't tapped into your breath, this is something that has helped me so much during this uncertainty and these weeks. And I find myself using it primarily in the morning and at night before I go to bed. It helps my brain kind of settle and gets me ready for bed. And then it's a really nice way to start my day so that I'm more present and my temper is better and I'm able to show up the way that I want to for the people who I love. So we're just going to do something called a square breathing technique. So you can take your hand and you can kind of make a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count to 4 and you're going to do an inhale. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can follow along with the square. We're going to do 3 rounds of this just to kind of give our bodies some time to catch our breaths. If you're like me, I need this quite regularly. So we're going to start at the top and you can just follow my count. We're going to go inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3. Oh, hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. So that technique, that square breath technique, it's something that I taught your students as well. So it's maybe something that you could do together at the end of the day. Before my kids go to bed, we sit on the couch and I'll do like a mindfulness video with them. One that I really love is Breathe, Think Kids. There's a YouTube channel that you can kind of get if you have YouTube on your phone or you have a device, or we stream it kind of up on our screen. And we do like a 5-minute kind of meditation as a family. There's so many other resources that you can use too. And then afterwards, we take a moment to go around and say one thing from the day that we're grateful for. So what was like the best part of the day? And then we send love and kindness to someone. So we pick somebody, either a family member or a friend or someone who we have interactions with, and we send them compassion and love and kindness. So it's a really good muscle to kind of work with your kids, getting them to recognize, positive emotions and being able to tap into things that they're grateful for. And then the idea of taking our kindness and then spreading our compassion to others is another little switch to that. So your kiddos know this 4-second breath, this square breathing technique now, and so do you. So even if you just did that, a few rounds of that, and then ended your day with just kind of calming that, you can control what's internal and the dialogue and the things that we tell ourselves, but there's a lot that we can't control. So again, focusing on that internal control and helping our students and our kiddos to do the same. So if you have any questions, I can put my email and my contact information at the end. I have so many resources and exercises that I could share with you if you're interested in this. I've seen such a difference with mindfulness and movement with my own kids and my own students that I teach. So I just wanted to share a little thoughts and some tidbits with you. And I hope that you are able to enjoy this sunny weekend and this sunny week and get outside. Thanks so much. Have a great day.